Alright, class. This will be the answer key for the tax on compensation assignment that I've given you. Take two na to. I've made the recording of it last night. Unfortunately, sira pala yung mouthpiece ko. So, I need to repeat all the discussions that I've made. And sorry for posting it late. No, medyo frustrating lang yung nangyari. But then, let's answer your take-home quiz. So, to start, one sec. Lagay lang tayong pointer. Right? So, for quiz number one, which is all about income taxation tax true. We have 5 questions now. So, for question number one, Mr. A's payslip for the month shows the following. We have the salary 52,000, SSS contribution 1,162 pesos, PhilHealth contribution of 650, Pag-ibig contribution of 200, union dues of 100. The requirement is how much is Mr. A's taxable income. So again, this is the actual payslip na, no, for the month. So, meaning ito yung sahod ni Mr. A sa loob ng isang buwan. Guys, if you will be working already, the amount to be reflected on your payslip is the actual, the PhilHealth SSS Pag-ibig is the actual deduction made by the employer against your salary. So, hindi na doon nilalagay kung how much yung kinontribute ni employer doon sa mga government agencies na yon. Therefore, there's no need for you to refer on the SSS PhilHealth Pag-ibig table because this is the actual amount that has been deducted on Mr. A's salary. Okay? So let's see. The question is just the taxable income, so there's no need for you to refer on the withholding tax table on a monthly basis. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Salary, that's 62,000. Simply deduct the government agencies' contributions for SSS 1,162. For PhilHealth, we have 650. For Pag-ibig, we have 200, and for union dues, we have 100. So our total taxable income is 49,888. So this is the only answer that I need. Okay? Di ko kailangan how much is the tax payment made by Mr. A to Bureau of Internal Revenue. Okay, so let's proceed to question number 2. The taxable income of Miss A during a taxable period is 298,000. How much is the tax due? Right, so in here, ang given is the taxable income na. When we say taxable income, any government contributions or any deductions available to the taxpayer has been deducted already. So there's no need for you to deduct anything from this 298. Word itself, taxable income. So this is the final amount to be subtracted to tax, right? So on your module, you can see the tax table from January 2018 to December 31, 2022. Just simply refer to it while we're answering this question. So 298, as you may notice, it is on the second bracket, diba? Over 250 but not over 400,000, which is true. Kasi 298,000 is indeed more than 250,000 but less than 400,000. So, tax on the first 250K is 0, and any amount in excess, right, in excess of 250,000, which is 298 minus 250 equals 48,000, di ba? Yung difference ng dalawa. You simply multiply it by 20%, you should be getting 9,600. So in order for you to get the income tax, just simply add 0 plus 96. Then our income tax stream in Miss A's income tax true for her taxable income of 298,000 is 9,600 pesos. Right. Next, for question number 3. So, ganun lang din, the taxable income of Mr. B is 8,970,000. How much is the tax true? So, if you are to look on the tax table, you will notice that any amount more than 8 million will be subjected to the top rate, which is 35%. So, Mr. B, dahil ganun siya kayaman, his income must be subjected to the top rate. So, paano yan? First thing that you need to do is to get the tax on the first 8 million. Okay, so please refer on the tax table. Punta kayo dun sa last portion of the tax table wherein sabi dun over 8 million. So tax on the first 8 million is 2,410,000. Just simply put it here. Okay, just simply park it here. And then any amount in excess must be subjected to a 35% tax rate. So magkano ba ang excess? We have 8,970 minus 8 million. So the excess is the 970,000. All you need to do is to simply multiply it by 35% and you should be getting 339,500. Last thing that you need to do is to add 2,410 plus 339,500. Your total income tax stream in Mr. B's income tax true is 2,749,500. Okay. Again, the procedures is similar to all the questions given in here. Ang magiging difference lang is which bracket pa dapat masubject yung taxable income ng mga taxpayers. Right, so let's proceed to question number 4. The taxable income of Mrs. P is 560,000. How much is the tax true? Again, 560,000 is over 400K but not over 800K. So let's start. How much is the tax on the first 400K? Please refer on your table. The tax on the first 400K is 30,000, while the tax in excess must be subjected to 25% tax rate. So magkano ang excess? Simply deduct 560 minus 400, so that's 160,000 excess, multiplied by 25%, should be getting 40,000. Then simply add 30,000 plus 40,000 equals 70,000. That is Mrs. P's income tax true for her taxable income amounting to 560K. And last question for quiz number 1. The taxable income of Mr. C is 260,000. How much is the tax true? So dito, we all know that any amount, diba? I mean, income of 260,000 and lower than 250 is exempted from taxation. So there's no tax on it. Kaya, ang answer dito sa question number 5 is 0. Okay? So exempted siya sa tax. Okay, so we're done with quiz number 1. Let's proceed with quiz number 2, which is the income taxation, other forms of compensation. So on quiz number 2, it discusses more on the de minimis benefits, the 90,000 non-taxable portion of the 13th month's pay and Christmas bonuses, and other forms of benefits. So dito, tuturo ko sa inyo paano pa tinitreat in actual yung mga excess benefits. And paano ba ginagamit yung 90,000 non-taxable portion of your 13th month's pay and other bonuses. So let's start. Question number 1. Again, quiz number 2 has, if I'm not mistaken, 3 questions. So isa-isahin natin. So for question number 1, Mr. A, an employee, receives the following compensation during a taxable year. So sabi rito, taxable year daw, ha? So, meaning, itong mga amount na to is on an annual basis, right? So, first, we have the 13th month pay amounting to 78,000. We have the Christmas bonus, which is the non-performance-based bonus of 7,000. We have rice subsidy of 21,600. We have uniform allowance of 7,000. Laundry allowance of 2,400. And productivity bonus received under collective bargaining agreement and productivity incentive schemes amounting to 5,000. The requirement is to compute for the taxable portion of the amounts received. Again, I've given you instruction na use the old de minimis ceiling, right? Even though we've already discussed the RR 11-2018, I've suggested you guys to use the old ceiling. Why? Because the module is based on it eh. Para yung ginamit pa dito sa mga problems na to is uh, the RRs prior to RR 11-2018. And in order for you then to see paano ba nakukompute yung excess de minimis benefits. Kasi if you will be using the updated ceiling, then most likely, diba, everything will be subjected to the minimis benefit and are exempted from taxation. So dito, may kita nyo, may mga susobra doon sa ceiling. Right? So let's start. Guys, I'd like to recommend now while listening to this recording, you should have with you your answers. Diba? Para nasusundan nyo saang points kayo nagkamali and paano nyo siya magko-correct moving forward. And also, I highly recommend to have the tax table by your side. Okay, you can pause naman this presentation anytime na gusto nyo eh. So, there is no need for you na panoorin siya tuloy-tuloy. Mas maganda yung matagal nyo siyang pinanood but you are sure, diba, na naintindihan nyo talaga fully yung discussion. Okay, so let's proceed to the answer key. So, first thing that we need to do is to account for the de minimis benefits. So, we all know na ang listed de minimis benefits are the rice subsidy, uniform allowance, laundry allowance, productivity bonus received under collective bargaining agreement, and productivity incentive schemes. Okay, so this is the 13-month pay and Christmas bonus. These are automatically included in the non-taxable portion of 13-month pay and other benefits if not exceeding 90,000. So that we have to determine, nag-exceed ba ng 90,000 yung mga benefits na to? Kasi if the answer is no, then all of these benefits are exempted from tax. However, if it exceeded the 90,000 non-taxable portion, then portion of these benefits must be subjected to income taxation. So let's see. So first we have the rice subsidy. On our first column, I've listed the actual amount received by the taxpayer. So we have rice subsidy of 21,600, uniform allowance of 7,000, laundry allowance of 2,400, then we have the productivity bonus of 5,000. So sabi, ang ceiling daw for the rice subsidy is 1,500 per month. Right? So if we have 1,500 per month, just simply multiply it by 12 para makuha mo yung annual amount. The non-taxable portion of your de minimis benefit is 18,000. Paano nakuha? 1,500 multiplied by 12. Right? So that is your non-taxable portion of de minimis benefits. Any amount in excess, that is what you call excess portion of de minimis. So we need to park it here. Paano makuha yan? 21,600, just simply deduct 18,000, which is the non-taxable portion. So we have an excess portion of 3,600. Next thing is the uniform allowance of 7,000. We all know that based on the ceiling, 5,000 daw is considered as de minimis. Therefore, we have an excess portion of 2,000. Next, we have our laundry allowance. But based on sa table, ang ating laundry allowance is 300 pesos per month. So, simply multiply it by 12. Ang actual non-taxable portion po talaga is 3,600. Okay? Pero, si employer niya, ang binibigay lang sa kanyang monthly laundry allowance is 200. That's why we arrived at 2,400. 200 times 12, that's 24. Therefore, since hindi tayo lumagpas dun sa ceiling na 300 per month or 3,600 a year, the entire amount of the laundry allowance is considered non-taxable de minimis benefits. Kasi pumasok siya doon sa ceiling ng de minimis, which is 300 per month or 3,600 a year. Okay? Therefore, wala tayong excess portion. And last, we have the productivity bonus of 5,000. Again, the ceiling is 10,000. So, hindi ka rin lumagpas. Therefore, the entire amount is considered as non-taxable portion and wala tayong excess portion. So, just simply add your excess portion. You have your rice subsidy of 3,600. You have your uniform allowance of 2,000. Then simply add it. Your excess de minimis benefit is 5,600. So let's park it here. Mamaya we'll be using it. Next thing that we need to do is to look for other bonuses that was given to the taxpayer. First, we have the 13th month paydown of 78,000, right? Next, Christmas bonus of 7,000. And lastly is the excess de minimis. So yes po, we need to add the excess de minimis in here in order for us to identify if papasok ba itong mga bonuses and excess de minimis benefits na to sa 90,000 non-taxable portion. Kasi ang question is how much is the taxable portion eh. So ang sabi, di ba, if there is still space doon sa 90,000, then you can consider the excess portion of the minimis benefit as non-taxable up to 90K. Dito siya makikita. So, of course, ang priority natin is the 13th month pay of 78K. Next, we have Christmas bonus of 7,000. If you were to add these two figures, 78 plus 7, you only have 85,000. So, meaning, 85,000 pa lang. Ang sabi, ang total non-taxable daw is 90. Therefore, meron ka pang 5,000 that you can utilize. So, when you've added the 5,600, ang naging total mo is 9,600. Then, just simply deduct the 90,000 portion of non-taxable benefits. Then, you will get your taxable portion of 600 pesos. So, I hope you understand it. So, ganun siya. Yung excess portion, hindi siya automatic taxable. You need to check first, baka naman may space pa dun sa 90K non-taxable portion that we can utilize para bumaba yung magiging taxable portion on the excess de minimis benefit. So, ganun nga nangyari dito. Kasi if, kunwari, 13th month pay mo rito is 90K, automatic. The entire 5,600 must be subjected to tax, along with the entire Christmas bonus of 7,000. This must be subjected to tax as well. Ang gagamit lang ng buong 90K is the 13th month pay, considering 90,000 yung naging 13th month pay niya. Okay? But based on this problem, hindi nga may space pa or meron pang amount that can be allocated for other benefits. Okay, so let's move on to question number 2. Again, quiz number 2 pa lang tayo ha. Question number 2. Information of Mr. A's compensation is provided below. So we have the regular monthly salary. Again, it has been reiterated, no? That these are the monthly figures. Right, monthly yan. So we have the basic monthly salary of 98. Ang laki. Sana all. We had the cost of living allowance, COLA per month of 7,000. So many of you are asking, Ma'am, ano po yung COLA? Taxable po ba yun? When we say COLA, cost of living allowance, it's normally provided to an employee if nare-relocate siya into a new place na mas higher yung cost of living. So for example, you are originally working in Clark, Pampanga. So since province siya, expect na mas mababa yung cost of living niya. Then na-assign ka sa sa Manila. So sa Manila, mataas ang rental expense mo, mataas din yung food expense mo. So si employer mo, binigyan ka ng cost of living allowance to parang kahit paano matulungan kang i-finance yung naging additional expense mo because of the relocation that was made. Diba? So, ganun siya. Ayun ang ibig sabihin ng cost of living allowance. Okay, so sabi daw every month binibigyan siya ng 7K. And cost of living allowance is taxable. Yes. Kasi parang it's an additional income on the end of the taxpayer. Parang yun yung naging additional panggastos niya. Next, medical cash allowance to employees dependent per month, 1.5. So this is, malaki siya masyado, no? 1.5. At sabi dun sa ceiling, 125 lang daw per month yung medical cash allowance for employees dependent. So, later, tignan natin anong mangyayari dun sa sobra. Next, we have the rice subsidy per month of 2,000. So, also this one, may excess din. Kasi 1.5 lang dapat. Laundry allowance per month, ang binigay sa'yo is 1K. So, supposedly, 300 lang yung ceiling. So, there's 700 excess pa. So, these are the monthly benefits, monthly salary na na-receive mo. And we have here the annual figure. So, we have the 13th month pay, 98K. So, if you were to look on the 13th month pay, 98,000 na agad. So, ma'am, ibig sabihin, si 13th month pay lang yung makaka-utilize ng 90,000 non-taxable portion of 13th month pay and other benefits? The answer is yes. Okay? So, dito pa lang, magagamit na agad yung non-taxable portion of 90K. Si 8K na sobra rito is taxable income na agad. Next, we have the Christmas bonus of 40,000. So, kung nagamit na lahat ni 13th month pay yung non-taxable portion, meaning si 40K dito, entirely taxable na. Next, we have uniform allowance of 7,000. 7,000, sobra rin to. Ang uniform allowance natin based on the old ceiling is 5,000 lang. Okay, so medyo maganda tong problem na to kasi makikita nyo yung bigger picture ng de minimis benefit. So, a requirement is to compute for Mr. A's tax due for the year. So, again, guys, ang requirement is for the year. So, alam mo na ang gagawin dun sa mga monthly figures. You simply multiply it by 12 in order for you to get the annual amount. Right, so, first, we have our basic salary. Again, yung total income niya dito is 98,000. De-minimize or non-taxable portion itong second column. Taxable or excess yung third column. Frequency yung fourth. And then total taxable income yung fifth column. Frequency, ito yung times na na-receive mo yung income. So, dito sa mga monthly na-receive, you need to multiply it by 12 para makuha mo yung annual amount. And for those benefits na na-receive mo on an annual basis, times 1 lang kasi isang beses mo lang siyang na-receive. So, let's start first with your basic salary. Again, basic salary is taxable. So, irekta mo na siya dito. Skip mo na tong non-taxable portion. or the minimis portion kasi alam mo na si basic salary is entirely taxable. So, 98,000 then multiply it by the frequency kung ilang beses mo na-receive yung 98K which is 12 para makuha mo yung annual amount which is 1,176,000. Do the same thing with COLA. COLA, you are receiving it on a monthly basis, 7,000 taxable then. So just simply multiply it by 12, should be getting 84,000. Next, you have your medical cash allowance in here. On a monthly basis though, you are receiving 1.5. Based on the table, the ceiling is 125 pesos lang. Therefore, you have your excess or the taxable portion depending doon sa utilization of 90,000 non-taxable portion. So later makita natin if taxable ba tong de minimis na to or pwede niya pang magamit yung 90,000 non-taxable portion of bonus. So, itong 1375 na excess, multiply mo siya by 12 para makuha mo yung annual excess of 16.5. Yung 125 tinanggal na natin kasi alam mo na automatically those are non-taxable. Same with the rice allowance. So, 2,000 yung binigay sa'yo, 1,500 lang yung non-taxable de minimis. Therefore, may excess kang 500 per month. So multiply it by 12 in order for you to get the annual amount of 6,000. Next, you have your laundry allowance of 1,000. And based on the table, 300 of it is considered as the minimis benefit. Therefore, 700 is the excess amount. So in order for you to get the annual amount, just simply multiply 700 by 12 and should be getting 8,400. Okay, tapos na tayo dun sa mga monthly basis. Let's move on to 13th month pay. The taxpayer received 98,000 13th month pay. And this is the first time that you will be using the non-taxable portion of it. So, dito pa lang, diba? Since it exceeded na agad the 90,000 non-taxable portion, it is correct to fully utilize it on the 13th month pay benefit. So, yan. Ginamit ko na siya dito agad. Again, guys, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can only use it on the 13th month pay. Ginawa ko lang to just to simplify. Pero, other way naman is, kaya na ginawa natin kanina. You've added the 13th month pay, the Christmas bonus, the excess de minimis, then get the total, then less mo yung 90K. You can do that. But that's the long term. So this is the short term. Parang since alam ko na agad that the entire 90,000 it will be utilized dun pa lang sa amount ng 13th month pay, then there's no need for me to do the long term process, diba? But sure, you can do it. If naguguluhan kayo na, ma'am, paano po ba medyo nalito kasi ako? 13th month pay lang po ba yung pwedeng pagkamit ng 90,000? The answer is no. You can use it on the 13th month pay, Christmas bonus, and excess de minimis benefit. It's just that, on this case, sa 13th month pay pa lang, fully utilized na yung 90,000. Okay? That's why, ginamit ko na siya agad dito, the entire amount of it. And of course, since 90,000 lang yung non-taxable portion, there's an excess 13th month pay that should be subjected to tax amounting to 8,000. Again, it was received on an annual basis, so times 1 lang, 8,000. Same with Christmas bonus. So since the Christmas bonus, since the 13th month pay, nagamit niya na yung entire 90,000, si Christmas bonus na na-receive mo on its entirety, taxable na agad siya. Okay, hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin ulit dito yung 90K kasi na-deduct mo na siya. So, 40K times 1, 40,000. And lastly, your uniform allowance, binigay sa'yo is 7,000. 5,000 lang yung non-taxable portion. Just simply deduct it. The excess is 2,000. Again, annual basis, that's why times 1. So, 2,000 ang total taxable income. So, the next thing that you need to do is to simply add the taxable portion of the income de minimis benefit and Christmas bonus along with the 13th month pay kasi may sumobra pa rin, may taxable portion pa rin yung 13th month pay. So 1176 plus 84 plus 16.5 plus 6K plus 84 plus 8K plus 40K plus 2K. If you add all of it, you should be getting a taxable income of 1,340,000 pesos. I mean 1,340,900 pesos. Okay, but this is not the question. The question is how much is the income tax due? So from 1,340,900, first thing that you need to do is to look kung saang bracket siya papasok. And you know na dun siya papasok sa bracket na more than, over 800 but not more than 2 million. Diba? So first we need to do is to get the tax on the first 800,000, which is 130. Again, it is available on the tax table. You can refer on it. And compute for the tax on the excess. So 1,340,900 less mo yung 800. So dito may excess kang 540,900. Simply multiplied by 30%, should be getting 162,270. Just simply add it, and you should be getting your income tax due 292,270. As simple as that. Okay? So, ganun lang siya. Again, there's a first question, second question. Doon pa lang sa dalawa na yun, alam nyo na kung paano gamitin yung non-taxable portion of 13th month pay and other benefits amounting to 90,000. Okay, so let's move on to the last question for quiz number 2. So Miss A has the following compensation income for the taxable year. So, sabi rito, taxable year na daw, buong taon. So, there's no need for you to multiply it by 12. First, you have your basic salary of 420. Okay. Next, you have your overtime pay of 96. Alright. So, alam mo na si basic salary and overtime pay, these are automatically taxable. Right? So, let's move on to the next benefit. Daily meal allowance for overtime pay. Sabi, 3 meals at 70 per meal. The basic minimum wage is 300. So, ang sabi sa de minimis benefit, 25% of your basic salary is considered as de minimis benefit. So, if you are to multiply your basic salary of 300 by 25%, the allowance na that can be considered as de minimis benefit is 75 pesos per meal. However, ang binigay lang ni employer sa'yo is 70 pesos per meal. So, it simply means na this entire 210, kasi 3 meals daw ibig sabihin 3 overtime ka. This entire 210 is considered as the minimis benefit. Walang excess dito. Kasi, ang daily meal allowance that can be treated as the minimis is 75 pesos dapat. Ang binibigay lang sa'yo ni employer is 70. So, this is informational lang, but entirely not taxable. Next, reimbursement for transportation costs in relation to overtime work. So, when we say reimbursement, word itself, reimburse. Ikaw muna magbabayad, and then pag nabayaran mo na, babayaran ko na lang. Ganon. When we say reimbursement, it's not an additional income. It's more of reimbursement of expenses. Okay? So, paano yun, ma'am? Ano yung magiging treatment ngayon ng reimbursement for tax purposes? Reimbursement for tax purposes has an impact on the business side. Okay? If you are asking for reimbursement from your employer, you should surrender your receipts. So, if you rode a taxi, ask for a taxi receipt and provide it to your employer in order for them to reimburse the expense that you've incurred. And then on the end of the business and the end of your employer, that receipt that you've provided can be claimed as transportation expense under its income statement. So, ang effect niya is nasa business side, not on the individual side. So, for Miss A's tax purposes, this reimbursement for transportation cost is non-taxable. Okay? For information lang din, see 810. Next, fees as a director. So, director din daw siya. 100,000. This is an additional income. So, of course, this is taxable. Honorarium as guest speaker. So, these are like one-time engagements. So, 6,500. And this is, of course, an additional income that must be subjected to income tax. Next, you have your paid vacation leaves taken during the year. May note dito, included in the salary. So, again, if you were to look under the minimis benefit, ang sabi doon, monetized, diba? Monetized value of your vacation leave. Nagkakaroon ka ng monetized value if you did not use your vacation leave. Hindi mo ginamit, hindi ka nagbakasyon. However, on this problem, sinabi rito, leaves taken daw. Therefore, nagbakasyon ka, nagpunta ka sa Boracay, nagpunta ka sa Coron, at the same time, bayad yung bakasyon mo. Binayaran ni employer yung araw mo, even though hindi ka pumasok. Okay, so that's a paid vacation leave. And normally, kapag nasa vacation leave ka, normal lang yung sahod mo. Di ba absent ka? Supposedly, deduction siya on your salary kasi hindi ka pumasok. If you are using your leave credit, hindi mababawasan yung sahod mo. It's as if pumasok ka pa rin. That's why it says here na included in the salary. Therefore, kung included na siya doon sa salary, there's no need for you to add it, okay, on your taxable income. This is for your information only. Kasi it's already embedded on the 420,000 pesos doon sa basic salary mo. Okay? So, ano na yung mga hindi kasama? Si meal allowance, si reimbursement, and si paid vacation leave. Lastly, you have your 13th month pay amounting to 35,000 pesos. So, let's see later if ito bang 35,000 is not taxable or taxable. So, later malalaman natin siya. Your requirement is to compute for the tax due of Miss A for the taxable year. Okay, so what I did is nilatag ko lang lahat ng info that has been provided in the problem. I put the total income benefits here in the first column, the minimis or non-taxable portion on the second column, and then I have the taxable or excess on this third column. Again, there's no frequency na. It's because all of the amounts provided are on an annual basis. Okay, so first is your basic salary of 420. Again, alam mo agad na taxable yan. Same with your overtime pay of 96, taxable then. Your meal allowance, since it did not exceed your de minimis ceiling, then the entire 210 is considered as de minimis, therefore non-taxable. So, ang taxable or excess dito is 0. Same with reimbursement, na-discuss na, it's not taxable. So, 0 din yun doon sa taxable portion niya. Director's fee, it's an additional income, so taxable. Same with honorarium, so taxable. Paid VL, again, sinabi, included na daw siya on the salary, so nandun na siya. There's no need for you to subject it to tax again, kasi that's double taxation. Nandun na daw siya, huwag mo na i-add ulit dito, kasi if you will be doing that, then 2 times mong itatax itong 8,000 na to. And lastly, you have your 13th month pay. So, as you can see on the problem, there's no other benefits or excess de minimis dito sa taxable or excess portion. All of the items are taxable in nature. Okay? Si basic salary, alam mo agad, by default taxable. Si overtime pay din, default taxable. Si director's fee rin, by default taxable. Same with honorarium, 6.5 taxable. So, walang mga bonuses dito that can be considered as non-taxable. Okay? Wala yung excess de minimis, walang Christmas bonus, and the only bonus that you received is the 13th month pay. And si 13th month pay mo is 35,000 lang. Again, ang ceiling mo for the non-taxable portion is 90K. So, if that's the case, then the entire 35,000
is considered as non-taxable. So, ma'am, di ba 90,000 yung total non-taxable ko? E di may sobra pa pong 55. Can I deduct it on my taxable income? The answer is no, because that 90,000 is available only for your 13th month pay, other bonuses, Christmas bonus, and excess de minimis benefits. You cannot claim it as a deduction, the unutilized portion of your 90K. You cannot use it as a deduction on your taxable income. Hindi po. Okay? So, if that's the case, then the 536,100 income, taxable income, must be subjected to income tax. Computa na natin. Again, si 536,100 is under the bracket more than 400 but not over 800. So tax on the first 400 is 30,000. Again, it's available on the tax table. Just simply look for it. Tax on excess, so 536,100, niles ko yung 400, and difference is 136,100. I just multiplied it by 25%, then you should be getting 34,025. Simply add it. 30 plus 34,025. Your income tax due is 64,025. Okay? So I hope it's clear. Next, so please number 4. For those who are questioning me na, ma'am, wala po bang quiz number 3? Wala eh. Okay? Yun yung nasa module, so let's just stick to it. So, quiz number 4 na tayo agad. Income taxation, gross business income. So, if you can still remember under comprehensive income, other comprehensive income and income statement discussion, sorry, that we had in the past when we're still discussing the financial statements. Alam niyo na kung paano mag-compose ng income statement ng isang merchandising company or buying selling company. So, ito lang din yun. 'Di ba? Ang difference lang this time is yung taxable income ko or yung ending doon sa sales ko minus my expenses, which is the taxable income, will now be subjected to tax. Nasa next level na tayo. So, we're not just dealing with the financial statement. We're also subjecting na that income to the income taxation. So, of course, if there's an income, then there should be corresponding tax on it. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin. The accounting records of a sole proprietorship business. So, if it's a sole proprietorship, meaning tao, individual, isang tao lang yung may-ari nitong negosyo nito. Shows the following information for the taxable year. So, you have your sales 1.5, you have your sales returns and discount. I'm sorry. So, you have your sales returns and discounts, which is 150. These are contra sales account. You have your inventory beginning of 75,000. You have your purchases of 300K. Commissions expense of 45. You have your communication, light and water of 30,000. Depreciation expense of 60,000. Insurance expense of 18,000. Office supplies expense of 15K. Rent expense of 45K. Salaries expense of 450K. Taxes and licenses of 105,000. Then you have your transportation expense of 75. Okay, so you have here your total. Then there's an additional information. And the ending inventory daw per physical count is 90,000. So let's park it here. Later I'll be using it. Alright, so guys, for everyone's knowledge, no, when you are tag mo rito, operating a business, there's an option for you to avail of the itemized deduction and the optional standard deduction. So when we say itemized deduction, you will itemize, no, one by one the expenses that you've incurred for the business. That's the meaning of itemized deduction. Now, there is some business na wala masyadong expenses. Example, if your business is more on rendering service, no? Wala kang nirerentahang office,
wala kang mga staff, wherein nagbabayad ka ng salary, and wala kang mga supplies, then most of them are using the optional standard deduction of 40%. So there's no need for you to provide any receipt. There's no need for you to list down all of your expenses. Just simply multiply your total net sales. Okay, when we say net sales, that is before deducting the cost of sales. Okay, so ang magiging basis lang talaga ng itemized ng optional standard deduction mo is your net sales, meaning your gross sales minus any sales returns and allowances. So just simply multiply it by 40%, then that will be your business deduction or business expense. If you want to be straightforward, then just simply multiply it by 60%. So yun na agad yun. Yun na agad yung net of deduction. And that 60%, yun yung isa-subject mo sa income tax. Pero if you are the type of business na marami expenses, na feeling mo more than 40% yung expenditures itong negosyo ko na to, then it would be fair for you to itemize your deduction. Saan pa kayang instances pwedeng magamit yung optional standard deduction? Example, there's an accident, nasunog yung office nyo, nawala lahat ng paper files nyo. Then, kung tutuusin, wala ka na dapat expenditures na pwedeng i-claim eh. Kasi wala ka ng paper trail. Some are using the optional standard deduction instead of getting zero deduction, diba? Kasi with optional standard deduction, you are eligible for 40%. 40% deduction. That would definitely lessen your taxable income. So, yun yung difference ng itemized and optional standard deduction. So, on keys number 4, letter A, sabi, compute for the tax year assuming the taxpayer uses the itemized deduction. Right, so paano ba yun? First thing that we need to do is to compute for the cost of goods sold. Again, this has been discussed already when we're still working on the financial statements. So, una munang gagawin is to check for your inventory beginning. Again, when we say inventory beginning, these are the remaining items, remaining stocks on your warehouse. Okay, on your bodega. If you were, example, you are selling t-shirts, eto pa yung cost ng t-shirts na natira sa'yo from previous year, previous accounting period. Then, you thought na kulang. Naisip mo, no? Naisip mo na kukulangin itong 75,000 stocks ko. I need to purchase. I need to buy additional stocks. So, dun papasok yung purchases. Diba? That's 300,000 daw. When you add your inventory beginning and your purchases, then you'll arrive at your cost of goods available for sale. When we say cost of goods available for sale, again, ito yung mga items, ito yung mga stocks that you can sell. Ito yung mga stocks na pwede mong ibenta. Kaya ang word niya is cost of goods available for sale. Okay, so when you add these two, you'll get 375,000. Next, you have your inventory end. Again, this can be found on the additional information, 90,000 na ba yung inventory ending. So, natapos na yung taon. Si 90,000 na lang daw yung natira doon sa 375,000 na total goods available for sale mo. Ito na lang yung remaining mo. And this inventory end will be your inventory beginning na naman sa next accounting period. So, parang ganito na yung magiging sense niya. Okay, roll over lang. So, kung ito na lang yung natira sa warehouse mo at year-end, meaning nabenta mo tong 285. Paano siya nakuha? Cost of goods available for sale minus inventory end. Yung difference is the amount that you've sold. The cost of goods sold, 285,000. So, let's park it here. Later, I'll be using it, the 285K. So, let's compute for the net income. Paano yun? First, we have our sales of 1.5. Next, meron tayong sales returns and discounts na amounting to 150. So, simply deduct it in order for you to get your net sales. So, that's 1,350,000. Next, in order for you to get your gross income, when we say gross income, this is the income, no? Bago ibawas yung mga expenses. Okay, gross income bago ibawas yung mga expenses. Now, matatawag mo lang yan na income if nadidak mo na yung cost nung mga binenta mo. Example, t-shirt. Of course, if you have your supplier, may certain cost yung mga t-shirts na yan. So, on this problem, ang cost ng mga nabenta mo, yung cost ng sales mo is 285,000. Saan yan nanggaling? Dito sa taas. Kaya kinompute muna natin to. So, binawas natin yung cost of goods sold or yung presyo ng mga products na binenta mo. Ang gross income mo, ito yung kita mo, 1,065,000. And then, deduct all of the expenses. These are called the itemized deduction. So, deduct all your itemized deduction and you should be getting your net income of 289,500. Again, the question is the tax due. So, compute natin ang tax si 289,500. So, tax on the first 250, 0. Tax in excess multiplied by 20%. So, 289,500 nasa second bracket tayo. Over 250 but not over 400K. So, yung difference itong dalawa is 39,500. Simply multiply it by 20%. Then you'll get 7,900. That is your income tax due. 0 plus 79 equals 7,900. Last, no, for computation. Ang sabi, when you are using standard deduction, ang magiging basis ng deduction mo is your net sales lang. When we say net sales, simply your sales less sales returns and allowances. So, deduct mo lang yung dalawa. Then, you'll get your net sales, 1,350. And in order for you to get your optional standard deduction, simply multiply 1,350 by 40%. Then you will get 540,000. Deduct mo lang yung net sales sa OSD or optional standard deduction na 540. Your taxable income is 810. So compute for the tax. Tax on the first 800 is 130. Tax in excess, which is 10,000. Multiplied by 30%, so that's 3,000. And your income tax due is 133,000. So guys, when doing your financial statement, when determining your taxable income, you can either use optional or itemized deduction and compare which one is beneficial sa iyo. On this problem, it is obvious, no, na mas beneficial sa business kung gagamitin niya yung itemized deduction. As you can see, sobrang laki ng naging difference nila on income tax due. So again, you can use either of them, but of course, it is recommended to use the deduction that could help you lessen your tax on a legal way. Okay, so there you have it. Right, so let's proceed on quiz number 5, theory on taxation. Question number 1. Which of the following statements about taxation is least likely to be correct? It should be correct, ha? The answer is non-payment of taxes does not lead to imprisonment. Actually, non-payment of taxes leads to imprisonment except for poll tax. Okay? So, pwede ka makulong for non-payment of taxes. Diba? Mayroong mga tax evasion, ganyan. Daming mga kaso regarding that. Sa utang. Sa utang, there's no imprisonment except if you are charged of estafa. When you say estafa, ito yung fraudulent na pangungutang. Example, namutang ka, nag-issue ka ng cheque para pambayad dun sa utang mo on a regular basis, tapos lahat pala ng cheque na in-issue mo ay tumatalbog, then you can face a case of estafa. So it's like
pagnanakaw eh. Kasi alam mo naman na you were not capable of paying, pero you still issued a bouncing check. Okay? Question number 2, which of the following is not one of the principles of sound tax system? So the answer is letter B, unnecessary burden to taxpayers. Dun pa lang sa choice, unnecessary. So it doesn't sound like a sound tax system, di ba? Hindi kailangang burden sa taxpayer. Again, when we say taxation, it is a mandatory collection or forced contribution to the government for public purposes. And it is necessary, definitely. Why? Because it is used for public purposes, for your road, for the daily services that you are using, transportation, light, diba? Schools, if you have children studying in a state university or public schools, things like that. Okay, so the answer is letter B.
Okay, so for number 3, this theory on taxation states that taxes must be proportionate to the taxpayer's ability to pay. So this is called theoretical justice. Justisya, di ba? Parang kung mataas ang income mo, obviously you should pay higher tax. While if you're earning a smaller income, then it is fair, or it is the lower tax is being justified. So yun yung hustisya para sa'yo. Okay? So that's the meaning of theoretical justice. The number 4, which of the following statements about taxation is this likely to be correct? And the answer is letter D. So taxes can sometimes be levied for special purposes that are non-public purpose. So obviously, mali kasi tax being collected for public purposes, for public use only. And number 5, which of the following is not one of the characteristics of tax? The answer is letter D. It is optional. Again, sabi doon, one of the characteristics of tax is it's mandatory. So, forced contribution po siya, hindi po siya voluntary na kung sino lang yung gustong magbayad ng tax, siya lang yung mag-aambag. Hindi. So, everyone, if you are earning an income and your income is not exempted from tax, then you should pay tax. Right? So, I hope it's clear. So, for quiz number 1, that's 2 points each. We have 5 problems, so that's 10 points. Quiz number 2, 2 points each. So we have 3 problems, that's 6 points. Quiz number 4, 2 points each. We have 2 problems, that's 4 points. And quiz number 5, multiple choice, just 1 point each. So that's 5 points. So your total for this quiz is 25 points. Again, guys, if you have questions, clarification, don't hesitate to send me a personal message and I'll be happy to answer your queries. Okay, but I'm encouraging everyone to ask question. Lalo't papatapos na yung semester. Right, so that will be it. I hope you understand this. Bye.